Ever feel like you're putting in the hours with studying,
Hmm.
but not really, getting those results that you
Yeah.
want? Well, get ready because today we are diving deep into how to study smarter, not harder. And
Yeah.
we're going to be drawing on a really fascinating talk by education expert Prashant Kirad.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he starts off with a real attention grabber, a story about two, star students who surprisingly kind of hit a wall.
Okay, so paint the picture for me.
Okay.
What's going on?
So picture this, like top of their class, used to acing everything. They're given a really challenging problem and they struggle with it,
Okay.
which is understandable.
Right, makes sense.
But here's where it gets interesting. So then they're given a much easier problem, something they should be able to solve, in their sleep, and they freeze.
Oh,
They can't figure it out.
And these are A+ students.
Exactly. And what's so insightful about this story is that it wasn't a lack of knowledge that tripped them up.
Okay.
It was pressure
Oh.
and over.
Oh, interesting. So they got so in their heads about it that it actually
Exactly.
ran at them.
Exactly. It's like that fight or flight response kicks in, even though there's no real danger.
Right.
And as Kirad points out, this overthinking is it's a major study killer.
Yeah.
Because instead of focusing on the task at hand, your brain is consumed with worry and these doubts, and it hinders, actually, your ability to learn and process information.
It's like your brain is working against you,
Exactly.
that's the worst.
Yeah.
So how do we break free from that overthinking trap?
Yes.
So Kirat has this concept. He calls it the tiger strategy.
Yes.
And I have to say, the name alone, I was like, I'm in. Tell me more.
Yeah. No, it's a very powerful analogy. He compares focused studying to the way a tiger hunts these short bursts of intense laser-focused energy.
Okay. So it's kind of like, instead of being a grazer, kind of just like out there eating whatever, whenever, and distracted,
Right.
we need to be more like tigers, these strategic, okay, all in, boom.
Exactly. It's about quality over quantity. Imagine a tiger, chasing after every single animal it sees. They would be exhausted.
Oh,
They
yeah.
wouldn't actually catch much. Instead, they wait, they focus, and then boom, they dedicate all their energy to that one moment for maximum impact.
Yes.
And that's what we need to bring to our study sessions.
Yeah, it's about creating those focused environments,
Mm-hmm.
minimizing those distractions, making those study hours really count.
Yes.
No more scrolling through social media in between paragraphs.
Exactly. And this actually ties into another one of Kirad's key points. He challenges this whole traditional idea of a study schedule.
Oh, you mean trying to, okay, so I'm totally guilty of this.
Yeah.
Trying to squeeze it in whenever you can.
Right, but instead of, he suggests flipping the script entirely.
Okay.
So instead of fitting your study time around all your other commitments, he says schedule those other activities around dedicated study blocks.
So it's like your study time is the non-negotiable. It's like the thing, everything else has to work around that.
Yes. And it makes so much sense.
It's true, because then you're less likely to feel rushed,
Right.
or to be like, oh, well, something else came up, I guess I have to.
Exactly.
That's
You've already prioritized it.
It's like putting that important meeting in the calendar.
Exactly.
You wouldn't just be like, oh, if I have a free moment.
Right.
It's like, no, that's,
blocked off.
yeah, blocked off, exactly. And then when you actually get to those study sessions,
Yes.
Kirat says something really interesting.
What's that?
He says depth over breadth.
Okay.
So he's saying that it's much more valuable to really, truly understand
Yes.
and internalize a few key concepts
Mm-hmm.
than to just kind of skim the surface of everything, right?
Absolutely. It's like building a house on a foundation of sand.
Okay.
It might look impressive for a little while,
Right.
but it's not going to hold up in the long run.
Yeah, it's not stable.
Exactly. True understanding comes from building that solid foundation of knowledge.
So it's like we're talking about quality over quantity in terms of our focus,
Yes.
but also quality over quantity in terms of what we're actually choosing to focus on.
Absolutely. So it's not about memorizing all these isolated facts. It's about understanding the underlying principles,
Okay.
the why behind the what.
Okay, I like that.
And that actually brings us to Kirad's final and perhaps most powerful point. He illustrates it with this really thought-provoking analogy.
Okay, now I'm really intrigued.
Okay.
Lay it on me. Okay, so we're talking why behind the deeper meaning.
Yes.
Okay, hit me with this analogy.
All right, so he asks you to imagine two buildings, both on fire.
Okay.
Would you run into either of them?
No, absolutely not. Are you kidding? I'm staying far, far away from any burning buildings.
Exactly. But then he adds a twist.
Okay.
What if someone you loved, your family, a close friend, was trapped inside one of those buildings.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that changes things.
Right.
That suddenly becomes a very different
Yeah.
calculation.
Exactly. Because when you have a strong enough reason, a driving force behind your actions, you can accomplish incredible things, even things that seemed impossible before.
So he's saying we need to find that deeper why. Like, what is that thing that's going to make us run into the burning building?
Yes.
But in this case, it's about our studies.
Exactly. And it's not just about grades or checking boxes. It's about connecting your studies to your passions, your goals.
It's that thing that gets you up in the morning, that real motivator.
Exactly. What are you working towards? What kind of future are you building for yourself?
Because when you can draw that line between, okay, this is what I'm doing, but this is why I'm doing it, it's like suddenly you have so much more like energy for it, you know?
Absolutely. And I think that's one of the most valuable things about his approach.
Yeah.
He doesn't just give you these like surface level study tips.
Right.
He's encouraging this deeper level of self-reflection and connection.
Yeah. And he does it in such an engaging way.
He does.
Like he uses stories, he uses humor.
He's very good at that.
Like he brings you along on the journey,
He does.
which I think is so important because it's like it makes it that much more memorable, you know?
He does. And at the end, he actually challenges his viewers to identify their why.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Put it out there.
Share it in the comments.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, we know you're here on the Deep Dive because you are curious, you are motivated.
You're driven.
So tell us, what is your why? What really resonated with you today?
How are you going to put these incredible insights into action?
Maybe it's as simple as saying, tomorrow morning, 30 minutes, Tiger Focus.
Tiger Focus.
No distractions,
Yeah.
just me and those books or whatever it is, you know?
Exactly.
Or maybe it's taking some time for yourself to really think about what is that bigger vision?
Yes.
What is that thing that's going to fuel you and keep you going even when it gets tough?
Yes.
Because ultimately that's what this is all about, right? It's about unlocking your potential, achieving your dreams.
Absolutely.
And we are so here for that journey.
We are.
So keep us posted. Let us know how it goes. And until next time on The Deep Dive, happy studying, everyone.